pull out a very exciting spin on their draft last game. They're still looking to the late game. They're still looking for the tools to shut down once they get to those late game 5v5s. Now those tools are utterly useless for the first half of the game because that Sona isn't doing anything.
No, it's really not. And we look back to what's happened in the first game. KDF, they got ahead with the lead early, but they weren't able to hold on to it.
Right. And so what we're looking at during the early game is all about the changes. They brought Illusion into that bottom lane, which, as the devs talked about, is going to give them a little bit more early game power, and the Yumi will extend the range usually, and all of your poke matters as well. So, question here for what the Jess, are we going to see him prioritizing that poke on this Sona? Is this Sona going to be the kind of champion that is genuinely hurting in lane? Because I think you could build Sona like that. Would be very curious.
Oh yeah, absolutely, right. And here's the thing here. Quandong Freaks going up against BRU, moving into this game number 2. KDF, they need to pull back. They have to come back in. BRU already have that first game win.
Yeah, this is huge. BRU United, a 1-game lead in a best-of-3 series. 1 game away from upsetting Korea. 1 game away from proving that the 4th seed out of the WCS can beat the 2nd place team in Korea. That would be a major story for our dad.
And so much happening here from the get-go. We already start to see Noel moving into the mid lane against Cheru. And so a very different setting than we initially expected.
Acrobat, where I put so much of the emphasis, kind of this bottom lane being a force that can shove through the game. So far, you can already see how difficult it is for a Sona to contest that. What the Jess and Co. Falling all the way back. Rotate on.
But Zaki doing a great job now, looking for the gank in the mid side, being able to tag up Noel. The barrier comes in, but a flash in when it becomes lightning, misses out, and first blood over to KDF.
Golden Feet still pushing, leveraging the presence of What the Jess, but he can't catch him.
A little too far away. Is going to follow up here with. You still see the ground coming through. Maru narrowly misses out on the kill on the Archony.
And that's just good old-fashioned pressure from Choir. Eating the mid lane alive. Noel forced back and back and back, and Terror finally gets him low enough that
Zek reset, come back in. We start to see a brush set up here for Golden Feet. As well as Noel, they managed to spot out Cheru walking by into the mid side. Triple V looking to try and intercept, flashing in with the upper hand. They jump in over on the Cheru. The Diana going to go down, and What the Jess manages to finish off with the damage, but a huge moonfall comes across, and Golden Feet, the next targeted response out from KDF, even with the Crescent Strike, will not be able to live.
That's a positive trade. Golden Feet goes down, and he's not going to be able to contest this dragon.
But Noel once again with the pull, but it's too aggressive. The crescendo will not save him. Triple V in the mid lane, too far away.
You have to back away. If you don't have the smite, there's no way you can contest for the fight, so KDF have full control. They run that area of the map. You back away, you go for Rift Herald. Instead, oh dear.
Dragon going down, and Archony going down with it. KDF 4-1 on the board.
Buriram keep walking in. You take the trade there. If we're going to go take the Rift Herald, be able to burn it relatively quickly. And instead, they kind of one by one walk into the Dragon Pit. Noel leading off, Golden Feet already dead, so there's no other tank on the team, which means when Archony decides to contest it on Singed, it's just very weird. Maybe a little bit of Game 1 overconfidence coming to BRU.
The confidence from Game 1 spilling over into Game 2.
Yeah.
Exactly. As Rift Herald started here by KDF. Likely going to pick up both objectives that start up in the game.
Which is a massive advantage for them, obviously. They're going to have the gold from those objectives, but also the Rift Herald kind of books them free control of the map. I want to see them drop that into... I suppose they could go for the raw gold here. I'd actually like it in the mid lane, because the big thing they want to do right now, okay.
Interesting spawn here from Archony, but a little bit discoordinated as they flash in with a crescendo from Jess. Cheru gets picked off, and the whip comes lightning to snipe away Zeki.
Acrobat and Maru will be able to farm away this bottom turret. They will get a break, but that was a very weird take from Zeki and Chera. They did not have vision on the top side. I didn't think they were going to engage. I think it's still around as the wave gets there.
Archony popping his ultimate as members of KDF start moving away to the top side. You still see Golden Feet in the flanks waiting. But the turret will go down to the combined efforts of KDF.
Trade here, mid lane turret pressure in exchange for top lane turret pressure. But of course Maru is there defending the mid turret. He clears wave. Noel might get a turret down bottom. KDF leading in the gold for now though.
Still a Wolfron exchange here for Noel, but Maru quickly on his tail. You do see the Honey Fruits up, and so Ignite out from Maru would not amount to too much.
Yeah, Maru's scared of this fight, rightly. Darius very scary in the 1v1, which makes me just kind of question the decision to put Archony against Maru in lane, which does seem to have led to a very big monkey.
Might have been trying to anticipate something else. Maybe Maru goes into the mid lane.
Sure. Rift Herald summoned here, a little out of position just because the timer was running out. It'll wander slowly into the mid lane. And I think this is actually a pretty big misplay because BRU can't do anything, or BRU should be able to stop it, and KDF can't do anything to enable it. Yeah, goodbye, Shelly.
It's a very interesting spot here by BRU. You start to see now they are getting a little bit impatient. KDF are also responding in turn. KDF with good macro. But surprisingly, being caught out of position and BRU clawing back in gold somehow.
Zeki, a little out of position. Noel hunting
in the back of the pit, but the bigger one you have to watch out for is Cheru caught out. The crescendo used though. Yepperhead pulls back. Noel is standing in the face of KDF in the first execute, looking for the second. It does not reset, but still BRU hunt them down, and now Maru bringing off on the great escape by BRU with 3 pickups.
And immediately, because Zeki's out of position, BRU know they can take the for
and
like the 3rd time this series.
And so it's so interesting to see how these two teams are in such a tight race here. KDF not willing to go down without a fight, and they've had 2 early game leads to start off their matches.
Well, they need to find it again. It needs to be a great team fight
And
from Acrobat
with Archony, but instead it's Archony that pulls them back in. Cheru comes in with a moonfall, but already his damage deal is gone. Acrobat dead, and Cheru chased after a double for Triple V.
Acrobat dashing into range of Archony, who just grounds him, just drops the ground, makes sure he can't dash away, and the second he caught Relentless Pursuit away, he is an easy target, an easy kill. Acrobat's dead, and so are the KDF hopes of a team fight. BRU turn immediately onto this Baron.
And a strong pickup here from Archony. Playing for the Singed in the top side, a little interesting, seeing how they've moved the roles around a little bit. But still coming in here, getting the pickoffs onto Acrobat, being able to displace their opponents even through the exhaust from Acrobat into the base of KDF. You start to see now Archony once again looking for that opportunity to pull someone in. The mid-side inhibitor goes down, the first of this fight, as Noel finds his first pickoff as well. And things are done here for KDF as BRU dive them on the turret. A massive crescendo on the 3, pulled back once again. Noel, a massive force. The whole BRU show the power of the WCS as they take down KDF 2-0.
What a win for the Thai team!